Hello, welcome to Blood Moon Oracle 3-question reading that was sent to me. Um, I hope you guys are well. Leticia is my name. Blood Moon Oracle is my channel. Though this may not apply to you personally, this is just to let you know you can get a personal reading. You can ask specific questions. There are some questions that I will abstain or avoid, but like general questions, I am more than happy to open up and give you a reading on what it is that you would love to know. And so this is for my viewer who asked a personal reading from me. Thank you so much. Right. I think I've done maybe about 3, 4, quite a few readings for this person who is very close to my heart. But this is for you, and you know who you are. The first question was, how is the last year of school going to end, and how is my transition into grad school looking? And then the last question is all of my hard work going to be worth it in the end, right? Beautiful questions. Um, Before we get started, even before I even pull cards, I want to let you know that this is the type of reading that it has to be positive just because of the energy that you bring in. Someone who's very tenacious and is a go-getter, right? You're a go-getter. Like, how can you not succeed at what it is that you want to do? Like, the world is yours. It's your oyster. And the world is your playground, you know? And as I have watched you, like, it's obvious that that's true. Whatever happens, the fact that you made it to the end, right? You made it to grad school is a big plus. And for you, this is definitely something that is a milestone that you have created, a bar that you have lifted for your family. Know that you are setting the bar high. You're setting and paving a pathway for those to come after you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. How is the last year of school going to end? Let's take a look. Thank you, Spirit, archangels, ancestors. How is the last year of school going to end for my client? Please and thank you. Right are you? So the 3 cards that came out were the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice. Right. The last year of school is definitely, I feel like for some reason it's going to possibly, or it has felt like an experience that is transitioning you into something new, or it feels very new. There's something about this last year that feels like a whole nother level or a whole nother ball game, or it feels like you've already entered. It may feel like you've already entered this new beginning. I feel like this last year is one where the energy around you being attentive and aware is at an all-time high. You may be just really specific with assignments and paying really close attention to everything, trying not to miss anything, dotting all your I's and crossing all of your T's, needing to really be in the know, right? This almost feels like the energy of needing to be ahead of the game, needing to know everything. Don't let any opportunities or any piece of information pass you by without you taking note. You need to know when, where, who, where, why, how, right? You need to know all of the answers to the questions that come up in your experience this year with the Queen of Swords. I feel like you could be very serious too. And I don't know if you have made a lot of time for extracurricular activity, or maybe you have just been really specific about what you're choosing Um, and it feels like you are in a position where you may be having a lot of answers to questions. People may be coming to you for certain levels of guidance, and you may be the go-to person in many ways if you need answers, or if you need some type of strategy on how to work out a problem or something like that with the Queen of Swords. And then the Justice is really giving me the energy of your hard work paying off, right? I think that's one of your other questions that came up. This feels like a year or an ending of this segment of your education that's going to feel like everything that you've done up until this point is paying off for you with the Justice. Like everything is kind of equaling and balancing out, right? If it was rough in the beginning, it might be like smooth sailing at the end. Like something's going to balance out for you on this backside of this part of your education. And so when I look at the energy here, the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Justice, it really does feel like kind of like a new experience where you are just really super serious and zoned in and just trying to get the most out of this last year. Things are becoming very clear that may not have been clear in the beginning. It just feels like all the pieces are coming together for you. And if things were hazy, like the clouds are dissipating as things are becoming very clear with the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. There may be things that were blocked in the first part of your education that are being unlocked at the end. You may find yourself being able to take advantage of more things. You may find yourself even being opened up to more knowledge, more know-how to do things, or even I feel like with this Ace of Pentacles could also talk about raising up to a higher level of pay and of wealth. Like this last year could unlock a certain level of wealth for you as well. And it could have something to do with you stepping up a pay grade. But things just feel very clear in this last year and very focused as well. As you keep your eye on the prize, I feel like that's coming out here. You're very focused and you know what you want. And it's like it's right in line with where you're looking. I just feel like you're very focused and hardworking. This last year may feel like a year where you just poured it all out, like holding nothing back. And you may be looking not just at this moment, this last part of your education, you may be trying to see like the big picture. Like I was saying, leaving no questions unanswered. Like you're seeing the overall picture of your education is coming into clear view now with the Queen of Swords. And then going back to the Justice again, I just feel like this is an energy of needing to, again, be on your P's and Q's and needing to do things. Ooh, bless me. Right. Not being able to cut corners, not wanting to cut corners, but like, having a great sense of balance and doing things by the book. And not really feeling like you have to hide any part of your process. There's a high level of honesty in this last part of your education as you're about to go to the next level. This feels like a great sense of transparency that you're in. Just being really honest, especially as you're dealing with difficulties in this stage, being really honest about possibly the help that you need, or being really honest about, any challenges that you are facing, being able to really see all sides of it and consider all of the consequences. Could be good, they could be bad, but just having a real clear view of where you are. That's what I feel. I feel like, and you let me know if that's right. Like, I feel like you're very clear right now. And if you're not yet, you will be before you end this segment of your educational journey, before you go to the next level. Things will become crystal clear, right? You may have been wavering on some things. Well, when you get ready to move to the next level, it's going to be clear. Those things will be settled and you will have a solid idea of where you're going, okay, and how you're going to get there. And so this last year is good. Ace of Pentacles, you're preparing for that next level. Things are becoming clear. Anything that was confusing or hazy is dissipating, and opportunities that may have been hidden because you were kind of like, I don't know, are now rising up for you to take advantage. That could include you having like a higher opportunity for like pay brackets as well. I feel like that's coming out here in this last year. These opportunities are opening up to you, and you yourself is real clear on, you know, what it is that you need to do, where you're going. This very clear sense of transparency as you are delving through this last little bit of this season of your education feels very clear as well. Let's see. Let's just see what comes out when we go to clarify these energies. And so, yeah, so it just feels very ethical where you are right now. I feel like there may be a preparation to moving it up to the next level. So this last part of your education may be really focusing on being very streamlined, following guidelines, like preparing for the next level, you know, and I feel like the next level could represent you having this level where you are right now, you know, down packed like the back of your hand, ready to expand. Part of that is being very ethical with where you are and integrous, right? And so you may, in fact, be mastering or have mastered and feel like you're very much ready to go to the next level. I feel like this last little bit, for some reason, keeps coming up that it's like, it feels like you're in a season of ease, but at the same time, realizing the heaviness of the transition to the next level. Yeah, I feel like you're enjoying it too. There's some part of me that feels like you having this sense of clarity is like refreshing for you. You're enjoying it, just knowing and being able to see where it is that you're headed feels, you know, like something you're very excited about, and have a lot of self-esteem, right? You may be feeling really confident and in your element, right, in this last season of education. So the next question was, how is my transition into grade school looking? Let's take a look at that. Page of Swords comes out. King of Cups comes out. And the Three of Wands. So first of all, let me say that I feel like it's going to definitely be one where you are excited. And that transition over, I feel like is going to build with momentum. And you're going to find yourself hurling forward because you're going to be so excited to reach the next goal, the next level. And I do feel like it might be a little difficult. However, the excitement is going to override any difficulty. In this picture, the bird is carrying the sword through the storm. Lost a couple of feathers, but have not stopped, right? Very eager to get to the goal, to get to where it has set out to be or to do what it set out to do. And pages represent young. And so it talks about you possibly starting a new part, but being very eager and very tenacious, very steady and relentlessly determined to move forward to the next level. So I feel like the transition for you is going to be exciting. It's going to be full of, you know, all of these experiences, new experiences that you're going to be able to experience. It's going to be thrilling mentally. I just see this, a lot of excitement going on mentally for you. Very stimulating is a good word. And it's going to be a time really where you are being asked, and you might feel like that you're constantly doing, or being challenged to take action on things during this transition. There might be a lot with the swords. This is also air energy. There might be a lot of communication happening in all different kinds of ways, coming at you 100 miles a minute from every direction. So you might feel at times overwhelmed by the amount of communication that you have to give and receive or respond to. Like it may feel a little bit overwhelming, but I don't see you relenting. I see you relentless and just very motivated and embarking upon this new adventure, very excited. This may be something that you're able to share. I don't know if you'll be going with others that are going the same way as you. I almost feel like there's going to be an accompaniment where you'll be experiencing this transition with others. And if that is the case, then that may take some of the weight off, being that you have others that are sharing the same journey with you at the same time. And this feels like a close knit, or either you're going to be surrounded with close knit people as you are transitioning. And considering different opportunities that you have. It also feels like a time of something that you've waited for a while. Of course, you've been working on this, but it's almost coming, it's like coming to the door and finally being able to walk through a door that you've been working and, really working through. It doesn't feel like you've arrived here easy. Not that it's been overly difficult either, but it's been something that you've been working at. And you're excited to experience this transition. I feel like that is going to help keep you motivated and moving forward. The King of Cups talks about needing to be very balanced. I feel like this is going to be emotionally, possibly challenging emotionally. And if not challenging emotionally, it's just King of Cups talks about being very emotionally grounded and emotionally mature. So this might be a time going into grad school where you may find yourself maturing emotionally in more ways than one, or needing to consider your emotional health as this takes place. And I feel like this is going to be a time where there's a lot of pressure that you'll experience. And that might be around finances. That might be around movement. I don't know if you'll be moving, but that might be something that is going to mature you emotionally or call you to rise up to a little bit more of an emotional maturity so that you can stay balanced financially, energetically, physically, and maybe even spiritually too. Because there's a bit of an investment I see that you'll need to make in yourself, right? There's one thing when we talk about going to school and studying and, we're pouring out all of our energy, but there's something here about investing in yourself emotionally that may be something that you might think about how you can take care of your emotional health as you're doing this transition so that you don't lose the stability that you need. That may be something that you may be needing to think about, ways to take care of your emotional and energetic, your spiritual health. I feel like it's more along the lines of taking care of your body and taking care of your emotional health as well. And it may be all of that, because whatever's happening emotionally will eventually take toll on your body, right? And so there's something here about finding ways to release so that you can stay balanced, so that you can handle anything that, life throws at you while you're doing this transition. The King of Cups is it's a rather nice energy because it's able to really endure any type of storm and stay balanced. And not only stay balanced, but there's all these things that are required. People are coming, asking for your time, because the King of Cups is almost considered kind of like counselor energy, or someone who you would go to for some type of advice or instruction, even teacher energy, right? So you're going to be having all of these things happening at the same time while you're transitioning. And so there's going to be a need for you to find a time and a space and an outlet to pour back into yourself. I feel like it's going to be important to maintain your mental health during this transition. And then with the Three of Wands, I feel like for you, there might be so much coming at you, like you might end up even turning some things down. The Three of Wands is all about this very adventurous energy. It's about expansion, the fact that you have built this built these tiers of education, and now you're about to expand to the next level. And so it's all about excitement while you're doing it and looking across looking across this wide expanse of opportunities that are now open for you. along with all this emotional stuff and having all these different things that you are focusing on and coming at you, I feel like there's also going to be a lot of opportunities that are open for you. One of the things that I'm hearing is the opportunity to study abroad. Three of Wands is about travel. So I don't know if you're going to be maybe even turning down an opportunity to study abroad, but these are all going to be opportunities that now are open to you during this transition. Maybe you are already considering studying overseas or going over to explore for a certain amount of time, a different land where you're from. This transition is going to be all about seeking new adventures and experiences. This new beginning is going to capture your attention fully during your transition. And so if it's not traveling abroad, it could be about you focusing on something new that you want to do. If you've been doing or exercising your gifts or whatever it is that you're studying in a certain way, you may be opening up to expand that, to do something different or to try something different. And this Three of Wands lets you know that this transition is your perfect opportunity to do. If you've been thinking of maybe expanding in a different direction or trying something else with what you're studying or your gifts that you're mastering right now, this would be the perfect time to put your foot in the door to do that. Because the opportunities are going to be plenty now that you have transitioned to this space where you're moving to the next level. Again, I do feel like this does talk about you having an opportunity to really focus in on what it is that you want, on what it is that you need, on you, on self. Almost like in a way of allowing yourself to hone in on what it is that you desire, right? I feel like for you, you may be headed in a direction with the Queen of Wands, I'm hearing, where you might be in a position where others do come to you for some type of counseling or instruction, right? And we already know that you are already in that, you're already in that field. I see more of that, or expanding more deeply into that area. But I also see turning down offers too. It's almost like there might be people that want to work with you or that want to see you go a certain direction, and they may offer you opportunities to look into things. I see you turning down things, right? Turning down things or options or offers or opportunities. This is a time where you may be getting a lot of different suggestions or things opening up to you, but I see you turning down a lot of them. I don't know if it's that you're looking for something specific during this time, being that you've honed your attention in to where you're going. You may have a really good idea of what it is that you want to do, and everything that's not that, you're saying no to it, right? During this transition, I see a lot of opportunities being handed to you, but I also see you being very choosy and very picky with what you allow yourself to invest in or be a part of or be guided towards, okay? And so your transition is going to be very exciting, very, and I see you just straight ahead, not, I don't see you flinching or hesitating. I see you moving straight ahead, straight through this transition, and, you know, having no doubt about what it is or where you're going. I do see a need for you to find time for yourself, not just pour yourself out, you know, endlessly, but some of that energy has to be redirected back to you, right? I see you maturing a lot during this transition. A lot of emotional maturity happening through this transition. And then lots of opportunities being poured or aimed at you. So you may be curving a lot of offers and opportunities during this transition. I feel like this transition, being that you are crossing a, it's almost like you're looking from one side of education and you're looking across this vast body of water. And on this body of water lies all kinds of different opportunities, things that you can do and get involved in, you know, offers coming towards you, but you're looking straight through all of that to the other side, which is your higher level of education, this graduate school, right? But you see this vast body of water between you and your goal, which is graduate school. And so it's almost like you are looking abroad and you see the journey ahead to get to where you're going, right? Lots of beautiful things in between, right? It's a journey that you're about to enter into. And I do feel like it's going to be an exciting one. It is going to take a lot of time and effort and investment, but it feels like you are up for, the challenge, you're up for the journey. Okay. Lastly, you asked, will all of your efforts be worth it in the end? So we're going to reframe that and we're going to ask, what is it that you can expect when you arrive to graduate school? What is it that you can expect when you arrive and you're in graduate school? That'll be our next question. What is it that you can expect from graduate school is the question. Okay, and so the results behind entering into graduate school, the cards I pull for you is the Six of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Cups. So first, let me just say that these swords, the Six of Swords and the Knight of Swords is, it gives me the feeling like not expecting this to be easy, but the fact that you will secure for yourself opportunities that will result from this hard work that you will be doing in graduate school. I almost feel like it's going to give you or help afford you opportunities and the advancement that may not necessarily be available to others. Even in seasons where there is like a downturn and things may not look very good, like with the economy, there's something here about you thriving in those times because of the work that you're doing here. The Six of Swords, again, is giving me energy. Again, we're talking about water. I almost feel like you will be traveling, maybe short trips, maybe something that you'll end up doing for your education, or even as a result of graduate school is going to give you the opportunity to travel often. And if it's not often traveling, it is actually moving distance from where you are, moving to a distant place. Six of Swords is all about moving, creating different circumstances, right? And of course, I feel like this is going and creating a place of your own, right? And it may end up being very different than anything that you've experienced yet. It feels very personal, your idea of what living would look like. I feel like this talks again about moving. You may be moving as a result of, having a higher level of education. Maybe you do want to live, and experience life in another country for a while just to see what it's like. It could be something like that. So this graduate school is going to offer you the ability to be more mobile throughout the world, I feel like is what that's saying. And the Knight of Swords is just having this tenacity about life, having a tenacity about life, and actually being in an energy like where you're unstoppable. Yeah. And just being so much so, like the energy that I'm seeing on you in graduate school or coming out of graduate school, it's like when you set your mind to do something, there is not going to be anything or anyone that can stop you. Matter of fact, people better get out the way because they might just get ran over because you're coming through, right? You're coming through. And so the energy around this card is very exciting and very youthful, enthusiastic about what it is that it's doing. So whatever the job is that you'll end up doing, I feel like you'll be very connected to it. And it's going to be like a pathway that leads you to like as much success as you can handle. And so it's going to be very momentous. And I feel like you may be propelling from one thing to another, just soaring your oats, experiencing things. I definitely can see that for you. That's what this Knight of Swords, the Knights are all about fire energy. They're all about doing. And the fact that it's coupled with a sword is like, you already know, like it's going to solidify in your mind and it's going to give you even more a belief in yourself about what you're capable of. Okay. And so this Knight of Swords is going to just really give you that thriving energy, right? That's what you having this experience in graduate school is going to, it's going to offer you that experience. The Wheel of Fortune, though, is like that energy of you not having to worry, because whatever unfolds after this, you're going to be straight, right? You're going to be in a position, and not that everything is always going to be peachy creamy and you're never going to have any, bad things happen or bad times. But the Wheel of Fortune is like, through the ups and downs and the ins and outs, like you're taken care of, right? You're taken care of and you don't have anything to worry about. Also, I feel like with this Wheel of Fortune is all about you understanding too, like what you put in is what you're going to get out. This is very much around the energy of karma. And karma is so much more than just, oh, you do me dirty and you're going to get it back. It's so much more than that. It's also reciprocating the good that we've put in. And so all of this time and this focus and this dedication that you're putting in, the Wheel of Fortune is saying that's what you're going to reap. And because you've put all this effort and this time, I feel like this is going to open up so many doors, not only for you, but for those coming after you. It's almost like it's changing, because this is also, when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, we're also looking at ancestral energy. You're changing the very fiber of your ancestry, right? Entering into graduate school. And it's almost like destiny is being molded around you as you enter into, graduate school, and it's changing everything, right? And so the Wheel of Fortune is a very beautiful, beautiful energy that talks about the energy of karma. What you put in is what you're going to get out. And the fact that you have given all of this time and this effort and your mental faculties and, into pouring it into school, like you're going to reap a benefit from that, is what the Wheel of Fortune is reminding you and letting you know. This may be the time where you're going to just see a lot of fruitfulness and a lot of things that help you to understand that what you've learned, you're going to see like symbolisms, things are going to be coming to life for you. Like, and I'm not just talking about in your practical sense, but even like how you're seeing things are going to just make sense. A lot of things that you may have just hid in the back of your mind because it didn't quite click, it's going to come to fruition. You're just going to see like a lot of things just start to unfold and open up for you. You're going to see results, good results from you entering in to graduate school. I do feel like it's also going to afford you, again, a level of freedom that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And ability to move past, what would stop other people in their tracks. Like you'll be unstoppable in many ways because you have, sought out this level of education. And I know how we talk about school, we give it a bad rap sometimes, but it's all about you following your heart. It's one thing to go to school because, your parents worked their whole life and saved up and, they put away all this money for you to go to school. Or, your parent, went to, school and got a, bachelor's in science. So that's what you're expected to do. It's a difference between following behind someone else's expectations and you following your heart, right? You following your heart and your drive and your desire, you following what you feel like you've been called to do, not being made to do it. It's a whole different experience. And because I feel like that's the type of pouring into this you've done has been from your heart. It has been born of your desire. And because you are allowing yourself to follow your heart's desire, like you're going to receive that back. And a lot of this is going to be you getting enjoyment out of doing what it is that you decided to do. And you decided to commit to yourself and do. And it's going to afford you a lot of, opportunities. It's going to afford you a lot of freedom. I'm hearing that with the Wheel of Fortune as well. And I wanted to save this one for last because I don't know what your plan is. I do feel like there might be a bit of an unexpected turn with your direction. I'm feeling that. Whereas you may have wanted to do one thing, but because of this other element of who you are as a nurturer, the Queen of Cups is really a nurturer. She takes pride in meeting the needs of others. When she sees others needing assistance somewhere, she steps in to give that. I feel like whatever it is that you are doing or you've enjoyed is going to be possibly pivoted to even an area where you're going to end up being a source of counseling or a source of direction. Like there's something about you being a source to lead others or being a light of some kind that's going to actually help others or pull others out of difficult spaces. And so there's a bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a bit of creativity with what it is that you'll be doing. It's almost like you're going to pull the passion together with the learning, and it's going to create this very interesting, very unique experience with where you're going to end up in graduate school. I think in graduate school, it's going to sign your becoming. And what I mean by that is all of these pieces are going to start to click. And I feel like you're going to see yourself really clearer than you have ever before. And it's going to give you this sense of liberation to really set yourself free and to go after and to step into who you are. You're going to take what you learned and who you are, and it's going to create this very unique experience for you. I don't feel like you're going to follow a mold. I feel like for some reason, you're going to create your own mold in what you enjoy doing. And that's going to be a source of inspiration for many. It's going to put you in a position of helping others in some kind of way. People are going to come to you for some reason, for some type of guidance. Yeah. And so I do see lots of travel around graduate school. I don't know if that's around learning or just you being able to just do your thing like that. It could be about you moving to a place you wanted to live, to experience that place. A bit of relentlessness. I also see you reaping the benefits of all of the hard work you put in and stepping into your authenticity too. So graduate school is actually going to be, I don't even think that it's going to be the end of your education. I think you're going to continue to expand in many different ways. And it doesn't mean that you'll have to continue with the school system. Like you may go in other directions, there's many different ways that we learn and expand in our experience. But this is definitely going to be the start of you really stepping into who you've been, called to be. It's something really big. I do feel that though. It's something really big because you feel like a big energy that's uncontainable, and so I'm going to just clarify the Queen of Cups and then we will stop it there because I think I've gotten my reading point across. Yeah, you don't even know. You have no idea. We have the moon. You have no idea, right? People may not even notice you when you're done with graduate school. That's the level of growth that you're going to have. Queen of Cups and the Six of Cups. Oh my God. When I tell you, and the Six of Cups, the moon and the Six of Cups. Wow. And the Six of Cups is like really allowing yourself to enjoy what got you there. It's not like you're going to arrive at this new level of education or this new level of self-realization and forget where you came from. The Six of Cups is like you're very connected with who you are and who you were. And there's something that you take pride in when it comes to when you look back at your history and how you got to where you are. I feel like this is a cup. This is a card for me that connects you back to your bloodline, your ancestry. There's some acknowledgement about where you've come from. You don't just, arrive and forget about your upbringing and, what that was like. There's a lot of enjoyment that I feel like you will also make part of who you're becoming. There's a lot of enjoyment with your past, and it could start at childhood all the way forward, right? It's incorporating all of that. You have no idea. You have no idea. Like it's such an honor to read for you. Your energy is so vibrant and tenacious and just energetic, and it's bright up here, right? The potential is just, it's big. And so you're definitely, I feel like, going to be a leader of some kind. Yeah. And so that's what I'm getting. That is what I'm getting. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. It is such an honor. It is such an honor. And I am speaking positivity. I'm speaking guidance. I'm speaking self-love. I am speaking resilience. I'm speaking, manifesting support and resources, abundant support and resources. So much so that you don't have to stress, right, about menial things, but you can focus on the experience, right? Because you're stepping into a place for many. And I feel like you're creating a path. You're setting and opening up a pathway for others to follow. And so, I'm asking for divine support all around you. Okay. All around you. And you already know you can call on me. Listen, I'm just a phone call away. And so this is for you, my love bug. I love you. I'm so proud of you. And I'm happy to read for you in your beautiful energy. And so thank you for stopping by and sharing your energy with our page. And anytime you need a reading, just hit me up and let me know. Okay. And I will see you next time. Let me know how it resonates. And let me know along the way too. Okay. If there's anything that I can do, I'm more than happy. I love you. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Until next time, this reading has been from Blood Moon Oracle. Leticia is my name. If you're watching this and this was not for you, and you are looking for a reading, you can also comment, or my emails in my comments in the description section. I'm just a message away. Okay. All right. That was for you, my love bug. Go do